People thought we were not gonna make it. People thought we were crazy.
To get a real taste of the background influence that has shaped lead singer Beyonce Knowles' life, you would need to visit a hairdresser's salon in Houston named Headliners. Originally established by Beyonce's mother, the business is now managed by her friend, Vernell Jackson. This is the unofficial Destiny's Child contact point, where the phone often rings, with fans asking to speak to one of the girls, or Beyonce's mother, or asking about Beyonce's latest hairstyle. There are Destiny's Child posters in the window and t-shirts in a glass display case on the wall. Beyonce's second cousin Kenrick works there as a stylist. In their younger years, the girls practiced routines at the shop's former premises. To understand much of the band's appeal and success is to appreciate the close ties that the Knowles family has with their children. For many bands, a dysfunctional family is a reference point, a badge of authenticity. For Beyonce Knowles, a close family and the freedom it offers is literally an article of faith, as family and church are inextricably bound together. The church is close to the family business. Customers who say as they leave, "See you on Sunday," are saying, "See you in church." For many people, the church becomes a second family in itself. All three members of Destiny's Child share a trust in God and the church that may seem to be almost naive in today's increasingly secular and cynical society. If not in itself, some indication of a different kind of dysfunction. If it seems to us almost uncanny, it certainly doesn't seem that way to any of the members of Destiny's Child or their congregation. Prayers have been said regularly for the group at the local church for more than 7 years. For black people in the southern states of America, religion has always represented a kind of freedom. In slave communities, Bible meetings offered a legitimate reason to gather and socialize. The church choir offered the chance to sing, with the fiery and deeply passionate music that came to be known as gospel, providing a starting point for dozens of renowned blues and soul singers. Church communities restored a sense of pride to a much abused people. So today, when Destiny's Child have difficulties or problems of any kind, the prayers offered on their behalf continue a tradition that reaches back down the generations. It's all part of the support network that binds people together, that forms real communities. And for Tina and Matthew Knowles, Destiny's Child is very much a family business. Matthew keeps a paternal eye on the girls, arranging their finances, keeping the wheels of the Destiny's Child touring machine well oiled, and protecting them from the predatory creatures circling in the murky depths of the recording business. It's easy to forget that, in the year 2001, the lead singer of this seemingly worldly wise trio has only just turned 20. Backstage, Tina supervises their hair and makeup calls, which can take up to 3 hours before each performance. Their image treads a fine line beyond glamour and eroticism. As Christians, they do not approve of using sex to sell their product. For instance, they pride themselves on the fact that they never show their breasts in photos. Yet some of their stage costumes, though not revealing in that specific sense, are certainly extremely sexy. None of the girls has any permanent boyfriend. They're too busy to socialise. Each day, they either rehearse or tour in their bus, where between shows they eat and watch videos. And wherever they go, they're under the watchful eye of a member of their entourage. Beginning their career at a time when hip-hop was characterised by the rapid emergence of predominantly male-oriented music, Destiny's Child were unusual in many respects. Theirs is a very feminine approach, a timely counterbalance to the hard-hitting, uncompromising, and often negative overview of the harder rap acts. Unfazed by the attention they began to receive early on from their hometown audiences, they remained approachable and level-headed. Their eventual success was no overnight sensation. They had trained long and hard, and the results were the expected outcome of such tireless dedication. By the time they were 20, they had all spent at least half their lives in the band. The reaction they received from those that heard them in their pre-superstardom days were typified in the words of a writer for the Houston Chronicle, who came across them one summer day in 1997. The girls were visiting a local recording studio, where they were often to be found hanging out. Having persuaded them to give an impromptu a cappella performance there and then, he wrote, "It was as if a quartet of angels had descended from the heavens. Don't be surprised if you see these Houston teens set the rhythm and blues industry on its ear in the next few months." He was right. That was exactly what they did. In 1996, when the members of Destiny's Child were still only 16, they were signed briefly to Elektra Records, but it didn't last, and when they were dropped, it seemed as if the world had ended. Then, barely a week later, they were picked up by Columbia Records and came to the attention of Dwayne Wiggins of Tony, who produced 11 of the tracks on their first album. If it were not enough that these young women had attracted the courtship of so powerful a label, owned by the giant corporation Sony Music, they were also attracting some of the biggest names in hip-hop. Wiggins, who first came across them before they had signed to Columbia, was amazed at their professionalism. He told the Houston Chronicle, "I was just blown away, and when they told me their ages, I was like, yeah, right. First of all, anyone this good would already have a deal, and no one that young would be able to blow like that." Nonetheless, blow like that is what they did. Their enviably high-profile connections didn't end there. Next to come on board and lend his production skills was Wyclef Jean of the Fugees, who had recently had great success with his own solo album. Already a veteran producer, he had worked with Michael Jackson, Sublime, and Britain's Simply Red. Destiny's Child had earned a great deal of respect from the local music community due to their tireless performances at hometown venues, and now it was beginning to pay off. Wyclef Jean came to Houston in July 1997 to remix the song No No No. Further collaborations followed with hip-hop producer JD and rapper Master P. It was, to say the least, an auspicious start.